All right, y'all. Let's get to the Country Wayne skits before I go back to sleep and go to church, because I'm gonna be listening to church today. Um, Terry, you worried about your reputation, but you're not worried about Libby. You don't even care about the fact that that girl jumped on Libby, and the fact that this girl has had to deal with so much because of you is ridiculous. Now, mind you, it's on her as well because you went after somebody that was in a relationship. Terry, you the one that making it seem like you not dating Caucasian women, and that's your fault. You the one making it seem like that you don't date Caucasian women. And that's a lie. And see, that's the thing that people don't understand. When you lie, it's going to come out eventually. Nowadays, people do their research. Nowadays, people look into your life. And when they do, and then it come out, now you mad at her. That girl's the one that got beat up. That girl's the one that was defending you. And you mad because she defended you. So the only reason you gonna go back to Dom is to get back your reputation. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, let me say this to black women. Y'all need to stop worrying about these men and whether or not they date outside their race or not, and stop caring at this point. Y'all the only ones that sit up there and hold on to men that don't want y'all. I don't see any other race caring about they man dating outside their race. Except y'all. Y'all the only ones that care. You don't see Caucasian women on these channels talking about the fact that they dating y'all. You don't see any other race of women complaining about these men dating outside their race because they can too. You're being loyal to a bunch of men that ain't never going to be loyal to you. That get on these cameras every day and disrespect you every single day. And why, I don't know. So again, when I find out a man is dating outside his race, I'm not even going to waste my time with it. Because I'm just a girl that when things go wrong in these relationships, they just come back to black women. And this thing with Terry 2 times is an example of that. He's only going to go back to Dom to get back his reputation with black women. And don't get me wrong, it ain't nothing wrong with black women being faithful, but you're being faithful to the wrong group of men. And don't get me wrong, this ain't fair to black men, because there are black men out here that love their black queen, that respect their black queen, and will never date outside their race. This don't apply to y'all. So, stop sitting up here, getting on these platforms, and making these black men out to be something they're not. They're not multi-billionaires. They're not nowhere near respected by these other race of men, and they don't want them at the table, which is why they're not at the table. It don't matter whether or not it's Jay-Z. Jay-Z can't even get a seat at the table. None of these black men can get a seat at the table. They don't want black men to have a seat at the table, which is why they put us in the ghetto in the first place. For this behavior that you see on these Kountry Wayne skits. They don't want y'all at the seat of the table. They just want y'all to be servers and entertainers, and that's it. And whatever they feel that you should be. And making billions and billions of dollars, but yet you can't own a stadium. And yet you can't have a franchise. But, oh, okay. That's it on that. As for Jocelyn, you better take everything that comes with in this situation. You slept with Sean in that store, and Ralphie now knows. So guess who he bringing back? Momo. And now Momo about to come back, and Momo about to get that money to pay that dude back off of Ralphie, and Ralphie gonna be a fool. And when it come out, the fact that girl played his face, he gonna feel stupid and got to put his tail between his legs. Jocelyn, you and Wiley need to have a conversation. And when are we gonna do that? So that way she can find out that Momo is messing with Dee and Ralphie. So we can get this out the way. As for Tamara, girl, walk away. Walk away. Let me explain why. Tamara deserves better. And Tamara needs to walk away. Because this disrespect ain't gonna stop. It ain't. And I'm sorry. I can go somewhere and create something on my own versus dealing with this nonsense. The other day I was sitting at my desk, right? And I was sitting there thinking. And I was like, I could basically build something of my own versus working for somebody else. Sometimes it's not worth being a part of certain things, and Tamara deserves better. Tamara had her own store. Tamara need to go back to what she was doing as Honey Pot. She need to go back and start going back and get a store or build her studio and start teaching dance classes and doing like the dancing dolls, something like that. Tamara got the talent. Tamara just got to get it in her mind to be a boss. Because some people ain't meant to work for other people. Sometimes you meant to work for yourself. And that's something that I'm getting into and I'm realizing now that I should have been working for myself. So that's it on that. As far as Amanda is concerned, Amanda, you accepted that house. That house is in his name. That house is not in your name. That house don't belong to you. The only way you gonna stop him is if you give him back that house. Give him back the house. You should never to the house. You should have went over to. You should have never moved out your apartment. Number one, you should have moved in with Amber and moved into the guest house, or you should have went and got you a new place. You should have never accepted it. And now you got a boyfriend. You got to worry about this situation. But yeah, you worried about the females that he's taking pictures of. The pot calling the kettle black, ain't it? And girl, the way you sit up here and lie is absolutely ridiculous. And what you gonna do when is that her brother? I think that's Candace's brother. Something like that. I know they related. But what you gonna do when he come back? So I don't understand at all. So like I said, all these females that do stuff like this, I don't even for the life of me understand. I ain't never gonna get it. And then when he find out about this dude, he gonna strip you of everything. You gonna be out there in the street. Now wait till your sister find out. As for the person that's suing Dalen and that girl, I think it's Tigger. Tigger's the one that's suing. But then again, Dalen didn't know nothing about it. So being that Dalen didn't know that he was being recorded, he might get out the lawsuit. But that girl is going to get everything she deserves because you shouldn't have posted that. You shouldn't have posted that without his consent because you posted that and recorded that without telling him. And like Kelvin told him, everything is going to be fine because if you didn't know you were being recorded, then you can sue her for doing that. He can also sue that girl. So if I was him, I would sue her. Because how in the world you going to record me without telling me and then post it? You can sue people for that. But here's the kicker of it all, though. And like I said, it is one thing if you use it to defend yourself, in other words. So let me explain the double-edged sword of this. I had a situation where people were trying to lie on me. And so I recorded and posted it. Why? Because these people were trying to claim my face and lie on me. That's a whole nother conversation. If you were accusing somebody of lying and you're trying to destroy their credibility and they pull out them receipts and them recordings, that's a whole nother conversation than you sitting up here just trying to post something. No, there's a difference. You can't sue somebody because you got up here and said some nonsense and this person did what they needed to do to protect themselves and they posted the recordings and they played the recordings and letting you know, I got you. That's a whole nother conversation. Because if it's something showing that somebody has been harassing you, bullying you, doing this stuff to you, and you're doing it to clear your name, that is completely different than what that girl did. That girl intentionally put that out without his consent. And that was wrong. So there's a difference between somebody basically being harassed or somebody, basically proving something as far as infidelity or something like that. So that's completely different. But stuff like revenge porn and just, putting recording out, that's wrong. So that's not right at all. What else? As for Shayla, honey, what goes around comes around. You getting exactly the same thing that you tried to do to Amber. And now it's coming back on you. But I'll do a part 2 in a second because Malachi went off on Anthony and I don't blame him. But at the same time, Malachi, this Amber chose to take him back. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So just stay out of it. This is her